Hi guys, welcome back to another Bourbon Santa video. It's still Irish month, so today we're going to be trying two Irish whiskeys that I've never had before. So I'm very excited about that. Last week we got out of the way my daily drinkers and my low-end, bottom shelf Irish whiskeys that I enjoy, and now we're going to start having some adventures for the rest of the month. There's a few we're going to have coming up that I have had before, but they're new to me, and they're higher end, nicer Irish whiskeys. So we're going to be going on an adventure together. Today we're trying Egan's Irish whiskey. We're going to try two different versions. One is a single grain whiskey, and one is a single malt whiskey. The single grain is aged in bourbon barrels, and the single malt is aged in Pedro Jimenez sherry barrels. So there's going to be quite a bit of difference between these two. It's going to be super fun to find out. Egan's is a brand of Irish whiskey that's relatively new to me, but they've been around a long time, since 1852. And they're right in the Tullamore region of Ireland. So they're right from the heart of Irish whiskey country. So let's start off with, we're going to do the grain first, because I don't want the sherry from the single malt to drown out my taste buds. So we're going to start out with the vintage grain. Now this is a 46% alcohol whiskey, and I'm not going to read all of their marketing story to you. Let's just taste whiskey. That's what we do on this channel. We talk about whiskey and we get right to it. So let's get right to it. Oh, sweet baby James. Okay. Whew. So, there's a lot of stuff going on at once here. We got a nice amount of vanilla. We got a really nice, very, very light sweet oak happening. There's some fruit. There's some tropical fruit happening. A little bit of coconut, a little berry note, and a little bit of a grapey note. Very sweet, very sugary. That biscuit note is there, but it's very light. It doesn't jump out at you as much as in, say, a Jameson. Wow. There is a lot of depth happening in this glass. There are some baking spices. There's a little bit of, I said butter, but it's like when you cook the butter and brown it right before you make gravy. Ooh, ooh, let's taste it. Oh, that's nice. Oh. The spice hits you about midway through the palate, and then it goes into actually a really nice chest hug. Can't call it a Kentucky hug. It's an Irish hug. It's an Irish hug you do right before you do Irish yoga. Oh, going back to the nose, that grapey, green grape, table grape kind of note is even more apparent than it was before. The grain starting to show up a little more on the nose. You have that slight, sharp grain note that's becoming a little more apparent. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's very nice. That browned butter note is a little more apparent. It goes right along really well with that biscuity note. It's got a nice warm feel. Second sip, you don't get that rush. This is my first whiskey of the day, so it could just be from that. Very nice and thick. The finish is delicate but long. It's not real robust, but it lingers with you in the back of your mouth, in the back of your throat. and then in the chest. A little bit dry. Oh, what a lovely nose and palate. Alright, let's move on to the sherry. Now, I smelled this when I opened the bottle. I always sniff my bottles. As soon as the cork comes out, I'm sniffing the bottle. I don't know. It's a thing. Oh, strong sherry. Wow. Very robust sherry note. Big dried fruits, raisins, dates. Maybe even plum, or maybe even prune. That malt is there. Some marzipan, vanilla, some ginger, and the almost the feel of a biscuit more than the smell of a biscuit. And honey again. Honey on this one as well. This is a dessert whiskey. Oh, that's making my mouth water. The dried fruit really translates through into the palate. Oh, that is a gorgeous dessert whiskey. Oh, I'm getting slight hints of chocolate now. Like a dry, baking, powdered chocolate. The sugary aspect of this leans towards like icing, like maybe powdered confectioner sugar. Oh, that's nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, I'm glad I did them in this order. Going back to the grain whiskey after this, it really drowns out the nose on this. It's almost like there's nothing in the glass, just a teensy bit of honey. Very few other notes, slight note from the grain, and that's about it. So I'm glad I did them in this order. The sherry really blows that out of the water. Not that it's better, just that the notes are more dominant and they take over the palate. So these are both really good. I'm really impressed for having tried two brand new Irish whiskeys that I've never had before. And these are both relatively inexpensive. I believe the grain one was 20-something and this one was 30-something. So very reasonably priced. I got them from my local Total Wine. And delicious. Now they have a little bit more expensive Centennial version sitting on the shelf that I might grab to try. And so we'll see about that. Now, you may have noticed that there are two little samples sitting here, one of each of these whiskeys. And those are going to the Barrel Proof Bros out of Brooklyn, New York, the Jolly Egans, Rob and Tim. Their last name is Egan, and they reached out to me on Instagram. And I told them that I'd send them a couple samples of these so they could try them. Check them out on Instagram, the Barrel Proof Bros. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, drink more Irish. And have a great day. If you couldn't tell, I prefer the sherry. The sherry's